Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a young leader forged in coups. Meet Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the 34-year-old military officer who now finds himself at the helm of a turbulent Burkina Faso. His rise to power is a story etched in the language of coups, whispers of rebellion, and a burning desire for change. Traoré wasn't just a bystander in these dramatic events. He was a key player, a rising star within the Burkinabe army who, at the age of just 33, led a group of officers in overthrowing the previous military junta. It was a bold move, fueled by widespread frustration with the government's failure to curb a growing jihadist insurgency and a yearning for national rejuvenation. But Traoré's ambitions don't stop there. He's a man who plays chess on a grander board, one where alliances shift and old ties fray. His audacious decision to sever ties with France, Burkina Faso's former colonizer, has plunged the nation into a new chapter of uncertainty. Can Traoré, forged in the fires of coups, navigate the treacherous path he has carved for himself and his nation? Can he deliver on the promises of change that led him to power? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Captain Ibrahim Traoré is a name the world will remember. France and Burkina Faso, a legacy of colonization and a fractured friendship. The relationship between France and Burkina Faso, formerly known as Upper Volta, is complex, interwoven with threads of colonialism, aid, and a growing desire for independence. France ruled Burkina Faso for over half a century, leaving behind a legacy of infrastructure and cultural influence, but also resentment and a yearning for self-determination. Post-independence, France remained a key partner, providing economic aid and military support in the fight against jihadist insurgencies. However, recent years have seen a growing strain in this relationship. Frustration with the perceived ineffectiveness of French military intervention against jihadists has fueled anti-French sentiment. Coups d'état in 2022 and 2023, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, signaled a shift in power dynamics. Traoré's government criticized France's military approach and demanded the withdrawal of French troops. In October 2023, the expulsion of the French ambassador marked a symbolic and decisive rupture, signaling a break from the past and a search for new alliances. Shifting loyalties, Burkina Faso's recent outreach to countries like Russia and China further complicates the geopolitical landscape. Domestic pressures, domestic instability, and the ongoing jihadist threat add another layer of complexity to the situation. Uncertain future. The future of the France-Burkina Faso relationship remains uncertain, with the potential for further tensions and unpredictable consequences. As Burkina Faso charts its course, the legacy of colonialism and the complex dynamics of power play out on a global stage. The question remains, can these two former partners find a new path forward, or will the fractures continue to widen? France's shrinking footprint and Russia's rising shadow, Burkina Faso's impact on the Sahel. France's weakening grip. For decades, France held a dominant military role in the Sahel region, combating jihadist insurgencies through Operation Barkhane. Burkina Faso was a key partner, hosting French troops and providing crucial intelligence. However, Traoré's government's decision to end cooperation with France and expel its ambassador dealt a significant blow to French influence. It signaled a loss of trust and confidence in France's approach to fighting jihadists. Russia's expanding presence. With France stepping back, other powers eager to fill the void are emerging. Russia, in particular, has aggressively pursued ties with Burkina Faso, offering military equipment and training. Russia's motives are multifaceted, countering Western influence, expanding its access to African resources, and establishing itself as a major security player in the region. The consequences of France's weakened position and Russia's increasing influence are still unfolding. Concerns mount about a potential arms race and further destabilization in the region. What does Russia's involvement mean for local populations? Can France regain its lost ground? How will this impact the fight against jihadists? Growing anti-French sentiment. This is the harsh reality that grips a nation. The Sahel's sands whisper tales of broken promises and simmering frustrations. For years, Operation Barkhane, spearheaded by France, aimed to quell the rising jihadi tide. Successes came, but so did setbacks, and a gnawing suspicion began to spread. The tremors felt in Burkina Faso reverberate far beyond its borders. France's weakened position here poses a significant challenge to its broader geopolitical goals in the Sahel and across Africa. Let's explore the ripples of this loss. 1. Security and counterterrorism. Erosion of a strategic hub, Burkina Faso was a key partner in combating jihadist insurgencies, hosting French troops and providing regional intelligence. Its defection creates a security vacuum, potentially emboldening jihadists and jeopardizing counterterrorism efforts across the Sahel. Domino effect. Other countries in the region might be tempted to follow Burkina Faso's lead, further diminishing France's influence and creating a patchwork security landscape with less coordination and effectiveness. 2. Economic and resource access. Market loss. Burkina Faso represented a significant economic partner for France, with investments in mining, agriculture, and infrastructure. Its withdrawal weakens French economic footholds in the region and opens doors for competing powers like China and Russia. Resource access. Burkina Faso holds resources like gold and zinc, attractive to both France and its rivals. Losing access to these resources weakens France's economic leverage and hampers its ability to compete for lucrative deals in the region. 3. Diplomatic standing and global image. Tarnished reputation. France's perceived failure to curb the insurgency and its subsequent diplomatic fallout with Burkina Faso damage its image as a reliable security partner and regional leader. This could discourage other African nations from entering partnerships with France. Loss of influence in Africa. France has long sought to maintain its historical ties and exert influence in Africa. The Burkina Faso debacle weakens its position as a leading power in the continent, potentially allowing other players to gain ground. 4. Geopolitical realignments. Rise of Russia and China. Russia's growing presence in Burkina Faso, including military partnerships, challenges France's traditional dominance in the region. Similarly, China's increasing economic influence offers alternative paths for African nations, further diminishing France's relative power. Uncertain future. The power vacuum created by France's weakened position creates a breeding ground for uncertainty and potential instability. New alliances and geopolitical alignments could emerge, reshaping the regional landscape in unpredictable ways. The loss of influence in Burkina Faso is not just a local affair. It represents a setback for France's broader ambitions in the Sahel and Africa, with potential consequences for security, economics, diplomacy, and the global balance of power. This situation raises crucial questions about the future of France's role in Africa and the shifting dynamics of a continent increasingly courted by various global players. Can Burkina Faso spark a wider challenge to French dominance? The tremors in Burkina Faso, where France's once dominant influence has crumbled, could trigger a seismic shift across the Sahel. Other countries in the region, frustrated by similar issues, may be tempted to follow suit, challenging France's long-held position as the primary power player. Potential dominoes. Mali, already simmering with discontent over France's role in its own security struggles, Mali could be swayed by Burkina Faso's example. Recent tensions between its government and France, coupled with growing ties to Russia, make it a prime candidate for domino-style defiance. Niger, sharing a porous border with Burkina Faso and facing similar jihadist threats, Niger is another potential domino. Anti-French sentiment here has risen in recent years, and growing frustration with the perceived ineffectiveness of French intervention could push it closer to Burkina Faso's path. Chad. Despite being a long-standing French ally, Chad's recent political instability and internal disagreements over France's role in the region make it susceptible to the domino effect. Its strategic location and potential realignment could significantly impact the balance of power in the Sahel. Domino triggers. Frustration with French intervention. The perceived failure of French counterterrorism efforts, civilian casualties caused by French operations, and lack of tangible progress in curbing jihadist influence are common threads of discontent across the region. These frustrations could fuel a desire for alternative solutions and partnerships. Rise of anti-French sentiment, years of frustration, combined with effective propaganda campaigns by France's rivals, have fueled anti-French sentiment in parts of the Sahel. This sentiment could provide fertile ground for Burkina Faso's example to take root and spread. Geopolitical realignments. The growing influence of Russia and China in Africa offers alternative security partners and economic opportunities for Sahelian countries. These options could become increasingly attractive if France's position continues to weaken. Will the domino effect materialize? It depends on France's ability to address the regional concerns, adapt its strategies, and rebuild trust with its partners. If not, the tremors in Burkina Faso may indeed trigger a cascade of challenges to its dominance in the Sahel. What are the potential consequences? A fractured power landscape in the Sahel could lead to increased instability, competition for resources, and new security risks. It could also reshape the continent's geopolitical dynamics, with other global players gaining a foothold. Burkina Faso's decision to sever ties with France is a watershed moment, potentially marking the first domino in a wider challenge to French dominance in the Sahel. While the future remains uncertain, the tremors of this event are sure to be felt across the region and potentially beyond. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the young leader who seized power in Burkina Faso, has become a symbol of something far greater than himself. He has tapped into a deep vein of anti-French sentiment, portraying himself as the embodiment of national sovereignty against perceived French dominance. Listen to these questions and write your answer in the comment. Can Traoré deliver on his promises of national sovereignty and improved security? Will his defiance against France lead to positive change or further instability? Can Burkina Faso find a path forward that balances national pride with international cooperation? The once dominant influence of France has crumbled in Burkina Faso, leaving behind a crater of questions and anxieties. Can these two former partners rebuild trust and forge a new path? Or will the fissures widen, creating instability not just for Burkina Faso, but for the entire Sahel? Looking ahead. Scenarios for France. Reconciliation and re-engagement. With genuine efforts to address Burkinabe concerns, France could potentially rebuild trust and find new, more equitable forms of cooperation. Limited engagement. France might choose to maintain a minimal presence, focusing on broader regional security initiatives and leaving Burkina Faso to chart its own course. Complete withdrawal. A scenario of complete disengagement is unlikely, but France might choose to focus its resources on other African partners if relations with Burkina Faso remain irreconcilable. Regional implications. Domino effect. Burkina Faso's defiance could inspire similar sentiments in other Sahelian nations, potentially weakening France's regional influence and creating a more fluid landscape with new alliances emerging. Competition for influence. Russia and China's growing presence in the region could intensify, leading to a potentially volatile environment with competing interests and security dynamics. Increased instability. A fractured power vacuum could exacerbate existing security threats, leaving the Sahel vulnerable to further jihadist expansion and internal conflicts. Beyond the horizon. Burkina Faso's path. Navigating its new sovereignty, Burkina Faso faces the challenge of addressing the root causes of its problems, building strong institutions, and ensuring security for its citizens. The future of Franco-African relations. France's experience in Burkina Faso serves as a stark reminder that its traditional approaches in Africa need to adapt to changing realities and rising aspirations for self-determination. Global implications. The shifting dynamics in the Sahel offer a microcosm of broader geopolitical realities, where established powers face challenges from rising players and the quest for influence becomes increasingly complex. The story of France and Burkina Faso is not just about one nation's defiance. It reflects a broader transformation in Africa, a continent where voices demanding agency and self-determination are growing louder. The future of this relationship and the stability of the Sahel hinges on the choices made by both parties. Can they move beyond past grievances and forge a new path together, or will the sands of the desert bury the remnants of their alliance? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the tremors felt in Burkina Faso will resonate far beyond its borders, leaving a lasting mark on the landscape of Franco-African relations and the future of the continent. Beyond the complexities of politics and power, the human cost of this situation demands attention. Burkinabe citizens yearn for a future free from violence and fear, a future where security and prosperity blossom not from foreign dominance, but from self-determination and unity. The story of Burkina Faso and France is a testament to the ever-evolving dynamics of power and partnership in Africa. Will this be a turning point, paving the way for a new era of self-reliance, or will the tremors lead to further instability? The answer lies not just in the halls of power, but in the hearts and minds of the Burkinabe people. Burkina Faso's current state, a complex picture. Internal security. The Jihadist insurgency remains a significant threat, especially in the north and east. Despite efforts by the new government, attacks by extremist groups continue to displace communities and claim lives. Political. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's military junta currently governs the country. The situation is still fluid, with some questioning the legitimacy of the junta and demanding a swift transition to civilian rule. Economic. The ongoing instability, combined with the jihadist threat, has severely impacted the economy. Poverty is widespread, and access to basic resources like food and healthcare is hampered. Social. Public frustration with the previous government and the perceived ineffectiveness of French intervention remains high. There are concerns about increased human rights abuses and restrictions on freedom of expression. External. France. Relations with France are at a low point, with Burkina Faso demanding the withdrawal of French troops and seeking new partnerships. This has created uncertainty and potential risks for regional security. Russia is increasingly seen as a potential new partner, with Traoré visiting Moscow and exploring security and economic cooperation. This shift raises concerns about the potential for the spread of Russian influence in the region. Other African nations, some neighboring countries, are watching the situation in Burkina Faso closely, with the potential for the domino effect of anti-French sentiment spreading. Others remain cautious, urging dialogue and regional cooperation. International community. There are concerns about the potential for further instability in Burkina Faso, which could spill over into neighboring countries and destabilize the Sahel region. The international community is urging Traoré's government to respect human rights, prioritize civilian rule, and work towards finding solutions to the jihadist threat. Leaders. Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Traoré leads the military junta and currently holds the highest position in the country. He is focused on addressing the security situation, strengthening ties with new partners like Russia, and navigating the complex political landscape. Civil society and opposition groups. These groups are calling for a swift transition to civilian rule, respect for human rights, and dialogue with all stakeholders to find solutions to the country's problems. Overall, Burkina Faso faces a multitude of challenges both internally and externally. The situation is fluid and uncertain, with the potential for both positive and negative developments. Leaders currently need to prioritize addressing the jihadist threat, rebuilding trust with the population, finding sustainable economic solutions, and navigating the complex international landscape. The situation in Burkina Faso is complex and evolving, with countries taking varying positions on the recent developments. Countries in support of Burkina Faso's demand for French troop withdrawal. Mali shares similar concerns about French intervention and has expressed solidarity with Burkina Faso's decision. Niger, while still maintaining ties with France, Niger has also shown signs of discomfort with France's role in the region and could potentially align with Burkina Faso's stance. Central African Republic has a history of strained relations with France and supports Burkina Faso's right to self-determination. Russia sees an opportunity to expand its influence in the region and has provided military support to the Central African Republic and Mali. While not explicitly endorsing Burkina Faso's actions, its involvement could be seen as supportive. Countries maintaining cautious neutrality. Senegal. Despite having close ties with France, Senegal is urging dialogue and regional cooperation. They may advocate for compromise solutions without taking sides. Ivory Coast. Similar to Senegal, Ivory Coast prioritizes regional stability and might avoid strong stances until the situation clarifies. Ghana shares concerns about instability in the region but is likely to take a cautious approach and focus on diplomatic engagement. Countries concerned about potential instability and domino effect. France. Naturally, France is concerned about the loss of influence and the potential for anti-French sentiment spreading to other countries. They are calling for stability and respect for international agreements. European Union shares France's concerns and wants to maintain a stable partnership with Burkina Faso. They are likely to encourage dialogue and compromise. United States. While primarily focused on counterterrorism efforts, the U.S. is concerned about potential wider instability and might advocate for inclusive solutions while maintaining its own strategic interests. It's important to note that these are just broad categories, and individual countries within each group may have nuanced positions. Additionally, alliances and stances can shift as the situation evolves. The international community generally urges respect for human rights, civilian rule, and finding solutions to the jihadist threat regardless of their stance on French presence. Some African countries might call for Pan-African solutions and prioritize regional cooperation over Western influence. The economic and security implications of Burkina Faso's actions could influence other countries' positions in the future. Latest developments and nuances in Burkina Faso. Internal. Political tensions are simmering as the military junta, led by Captain Traoré, extends its transition to civilian rule until July 2024. Opposition groups and civil society continue to demand a swifter transition and greater transparency. Security. Jihadist activity remains a persistent threat, particularly in the north and east. While there have been some successes in containing attacks, the overall security situation is still fragile. Economic. The ongoing instability and sanctions imposed by ECOWAS are taking a toll on the economy. Inflation is rising, and basic necessities are becoming increasingly expensive. External. France. Relations with France remain strained despite ongoing dialogue. While Traoré recently visited Paris, tensions over French troop withdrawal and potential Russian influence persist. Russia. Burkina Faso's growing ties with Russia are raising concerns in the West. The extent of this partnership and its future implications for the region remain unclear. Regional landscape. Neighboring countries continue to cautiously observe the situation, with some expressing worries about a potential domino effect of anti-French sentiment. Meanwhile, efforts for regional cooperation, such as the G5 Sahel Force, are facing challenges. Nuanced perspectives. Beyond anti-Frenchism, while anger towards France is a significant factor, the situation in Burkina Faso is driven by a complex web of issues, including economic hardship, internal political struggles, and long-standing grievances about governance. Shifting alliances. While Russia's presence is gaining visibility, its relationship with Burkina Faso is not seen as a simple binary replacement for France. There's a recognition that Burkina Faso is seeking diversification of partners and solutions. Civil society voice. Local activists and community leaders are playing a crucial role in advocating for peace, accountability, and inclusive solutions. Their voices offer important counterpoints to the narratives dominated by state actors and international interests. Long-term challenges. Addressing the root causes of instability, such as poverty, youth unemployment, and weak governance, remains crucial for Burkina Faso's long-term stability, regardless of its external partnerships. As of today, October 26, 2023, Ibrahim Traoré remains in Burkina Faso, holding the position of transitional president and head of state since his military junta took power in September 2022. His plans for Burkina Faso can be categorized into three main areas. 1. Security. Addressing the jihadist threat, Traoré prioritizes combating the jihadist insurgency that plagues the north and east of the country. He is implementing new military strategies and seeking partnerships with other countries, including Russia, to bolster security efforts. Reforming the military, Traoré aims to improve the professionalism and efficiency of the Burkinabe armed forces, addressing issues like corruption and low morale. This involves better training, equipment, and welfare for soldiers. 2. Governance and reforms. Transition to civilian rule. While extending the transition until July 2024, Traoré reiterates his commitment to handing over power to a civilian government through credible elections. He is facing pressure from opposition groups and civil society to expedite the process and ensure transparency. Fighting corruption. Traoré has pledged to tackle corruption, a major issue that erodes public trust and hinders development. He has launched anti-corruption campaigns and vowed to hold both officials and private individuals accountable. Economic recovery. Reviving the struggling economy is crucial for Traoré's agenda. He is focusing on attracting investment, diversifying economic activities beyond agriculture, and improving access to basic necessities. 3. International relations. Redefining relations with France. Following the withdrawal of French troops, Traoré seeks to diversify Burkina Faso's international partnerships. He has visited Russia and explored cooperation in various sectors, but also maintains dialogue with France and other Western partners. Regional cooperation. Traoré remains active in regional discussions and organizations, recognizing the importance of collaborative efforts to address challenges like jihadism and cross-border security threats. However, Traoré's plans face significant challenges. Security situation. The jihadists remain a potent threat, and progress in containing them could be slow and uncertain. Internal tensions. Political dissatisfaction and pressure for quicker civilian rule are potential sources of instability. External pressures. Navigating the complex international landscape, managing relations with diverse partners, and avoiding isolation will require skillful diplomacy. Overall, Traoré's plans for Burkina Faso are ambitious, focusing on security, governance, and international relations. Their success will depend on his ability to navigate internal and external challenges, deliver on his promises, and gain the trust of the Burkinabe people. Assuming the current situation of Burkina Faso, what can evolve in the long run? Predicting the long-term future of Burkina Faso under the current situation is inherently complex, rife with uncertainties and potential for various trajectories. However, by examining key factors and considering diverse perspectives, we can explore some possible evolutions. Security. Improved security. If Traoré's security strategies succeed and regional cooperation strengthens, the jihadist threat may be contained, leading to increased stability and a safer environment for development. Protracted instability. The insurgency could persist, claiming lives and resources, perpetuating a cycle of violence and hindering progress in other areas. New alliances. Burkina Faso's partnership with Russia and potential engagement with other actors could reshape regional security dynamics, with both positive and negative implications depending on how partnerships are managed. Governance and reforms. Transition to civilian rule. If Traoré fulfills his promise and a credible democratic transition takes place, it could open doors for better governance, accountability, and citizen participation. Military rule entrenchment. The military junta could remain in power indefinitely, potentially leading to increased repression, human rights violations, and further political instability. Limited reforms. Even with civilian rule, progress on tackling corruption and implementing meaningful reforms might be slow and patchy, leaving deep-seated issues unresolved. International relations. Diversification of partnerships. Burkina Faso could successfully manage its relationships with various international actors, including France, Russia, and others, leveraging them for economic and security benefits. Isolation and sanctions. If tensions with France or other major powers escalate, Burkina Faso could face international isolation and economic sanctions, hindering its development prospects. Regional conflict. The changing power dynamics in the Sahel could trigger new regional conflicts or proxy wars, with potentially devastating consequences for Burkina Faso and its neighbors. Economic development. Economic boom. If security improves, governance reforms bear fruit, and international partnerships yield positive results, Burkina Faso could experience economic growth and diversification, lifting its people out of poverty. Continued struggles. The economy could remain stagnant or even deteriorate due to ongoing security concerns, political instability, and limited access to international markets. Resource exploitation. Increased focus on natural resources might bring short-term gains, but raise concerns about environmental degradation and unequal distribution of benefits. Social and cultural landscape. National unity and identity. If challenges are overcome and progress is made, a sense of national unity and shared identity could emerge, strengthening the social fabric. Social divide and polarization. Continued internal struggles and unresolved grievances could exacerbate social divisions and ethnic tensions, creating a more fragmented society. Cultural shift. Burkina Faso's evolving international relationships and internal socio-political dynamics could lead to a cultural shift, reshaping traditions and social norms. Remember, these are just some possible scenarios, and the actual future of Burkina Faso will depend on numerous factors and the choices made by its leaders and people. Ultimately, the long-term trajectory of the country is not predetermined, and the power to shape its future lies within the hands of its citizens and their collective efforts to overcome challenges and build a better tomorrow. Alright, fellow curious cats. If you devoured this analysis of Burkina Faso like a tasty bowl of jollof rice, then smash that like button and subscribe for more intellectual feasts. We promise to keep serving up thought-provoking content that's hotter than the Saharan sun. See you soon.